my God, I'm so bored.
Ugh, me too.
There's nothing to do. I mean, besides a bunch of assignments.
Oh, what's that? I just got a tweet.
What's a tweet?
A tweet? It's like from Twitter, social networking thing.
I have no idea what that is.
Here, let me show you. Throughout this semester, we have learned how to use Twitter to help us grow as educators. We were able to create a positive digital identity through Twitter by sharing and connecting to other professionals. We were able to build a learning network through Sask Ed Chats. This introduced us to other educators on Twitter. Twitter also allowed us to share resources and be introduced to other resources and techniques that we can use in the classroom. Twitter also allowed us to connect with other classmates and become involved in their learning process. It was nice to be able to hear other classmates' opinions and add our own on different resources that were shared on Twitter. We were able to connect our Twitters to our blogs, which helped us to build a cohesive digital identity.
Many hours later.
See how easy it is to build a Twitter and a PLN in such a short amount of time?
Yeah, I never realized how easy it is. You learn so much stuff and there's so many other resources out there. I couldn't even have imagined it before.
And you're able to connect with so many different people in the education realm.
Yeah, I never would have thought that before.
So now that I have a digital identity, won't I be more perceptible to things like cyberbullying?
Yeah, but you just need to keep in mind that you need to think before you tweet, and you needed to build a positive identity. So that means sharing things that are positive and encouraging rather than bringing other people down.
So to keep that positive identity, I wouldn't want to put like a picture of me having drinks at a party.
No, you want to bring like professional photos and like different things like that.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But what do you do about trolls?
You just need to ignore them. I know it might seem hard, but
I guess, what are you gonna do?
Hey, are you really good at blogging?
I'm okay at it.
I'm having a really hard time with it. Can you kind of show me how to do it?
I can definitely show you what I have, and we can make one for yourself. It's easier to learn by doing if you want to do that.
Okay, thanks.
Sounds good.
Blogs are a good way to allow us to expand and grow our digital identity. You can add things such as your teaching philosophy, your unit plans, planning, and other types of assessment. When you use blogs, they also allow you to create pages as well as categories. So as you can see here, I have my webpage for university courses with the two categories, EDTC 300 and my learning projects. Blog pages can also give you an about page where you can give some information to your reader about yourself, as well as when you click to home, this is where they'll first see your stuff. You can give some information about what your blog is about, and you can give them an opportunity to contact you.
Two hours later.
See how easy it is to make a blog?
Yeah, I see that it's really easy. Like, look at my about page. It was easy, and I have all my teaching portfolio and all the categories here. And then I have different categories for all my other university blogs that weren't so great. And then I have my ed tech class. that shows everything that I've done this semester, including my ASL learning blogs.
Yeah, this is a really great way to share things that you're learning, things that you're doing. And as a teacher, you can continue doing this with your classroom.
Yeah, and it was even really cool how you taught me how to do cool things, like even connecting my Twitter to it and putting a calendar so people can see when I post.
Exactly. It's a really great way to keep a professional portfolio out there online.
And it looks very professional and adds to my professional identity.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what to do for my last blog post for my learning project, but I don't know what to do.
Well, what did you do?
I did ASL.
What? No way, me too.
Really?
Yeah, what'd you learn?
Oh my goodness, where to begin? I learned so much stuff. So, like, in the beginning, I kind of started to learn things that would apply, like, to start a conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Things like that. And I moved on, like, I asked for help, God knows how many times. But I learned songs, I learned a book, like a Dr. Seuss book. I learned, like, it was so much fun. You did it too, you said, right?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I taught my sister actually to sign. I learned how to sign a song, and I connected it to, like, how I can use ASL in the classroom.
See, that's the reason I'm actually learning it, is to actually use ASL in the classroom, because if I find inclusion is a really big important, it's part of my teaching philosophy, so to learn ASL, to have a deaf person come into your room, it's nice for them to feel comfortable with a teacher that actually understands and can talk to them back. I feel like it's really important for that part of the inclusion.
And I think that it's really important to be able to bring, like, deaf culture into the classroom.
Agreed. I agree. Yeah, that's 100% like one of the reasons I decided to do it.
Yeah,
completely.
A few moments later.
What are you playing?
A game that I made?
A game you made. I'm
Ugh.
so sure.
Yeah, I did. It's this thing called coding. It's super simple.
I've heard of it, but I don't think it's something I can do. It seems complicated.
Well, play the game, and I bet you any money you can do it.
Oh my god. So what is coding exactly?
Well, it's when you take this one in particular is when you take different blocks and you just put them underneath, and it creates what the background will look like, how the game will be played, everything.
So you're saying that you made this game?
Yes.
Through coding?
Yes.
How long did that take you?
Well, it was supposed to take me an hour, but I've actually had a lot of practice at it, so it only took me about half an hour.
Oh, good lord.
Here, let me show you. Okay, so what happens is you take the blocks that are on the side and you put them underneath the different categories. So there's when it runs, so that's when it starts. Then there's when you click. Then there is when you hit the ground, what happens? When you hit an obstacle, what happens? And when you pass an obstacle, what happens? So what I decided to do was when I ran, it was going to the speed was going to be normal. The background would be sci-fi. I'd be an Easter bunny. The obstacles would be plants. The ground, normal, and everything else was pretty much normal. Then when you click, when I tap on my mouse, then it would be a normal flat speed and my bunny would bounce. Then when I hit the ground, the game ends, and then you get this sound. When you hit an obstacle, the game ends and you get this sound. When you pass an obstacle, you score a point and you get the point sound. And that's pretty much it.
It's actually that simple.
Yeah, and you can play it on your laptop or on your phone.
This is so cool. Definitely didn't think coding was this easy.
Okay, so we're in our last year of university. How the heck am I supposed to use technology in the classroom when I'm in there?
Well, that's simple. Haven't you ever heard of, like, games such as Kahoot?
Well, yeah, but that's a game.
Don't you know what you can do with it? Have you ever played it?
Yeah, I've played it, but that's it.
Okay, so what you can do with Kahoot, you can make quizzes for your students. You can have, like, a fun little quiz for the students to learn some things. Use that as, like, a formative type of assessment. You can use it for so many things. If you make an account, you can make your own quizzes about what you're learning.
So you're telling me that I can use this game and technology in the classroom, and it can be fun?
Yeah. There's so many cool things that you can do with technology, but you have to make sure that when you're using technology in a classroom, it's used for educational purposes, not for when kids are just fooling around on their phones.
Okay, so I've had a prof that used Padlet before, which is like an online discussion. So I can use that in my classroom?
Yeah, you can have discussions like that where students, instead of doing an exit slip where students write it out for you, you can have them do it at home and do that discussion at home.
That makes so much sense. Okay, but now my question is, what happens when the kids start to fool around with the technology? What do I do then?
Well, you have to set up rules for technology, obviously, and you have to teach them how to properly use them, such as using their apps for good reasons. It's kind of the same thing that we have to do, you know. You don't want them posting stuff that they're going to regret later. You want to teach them how to have a positive identity out there.
So then it'd probably be a good idea if I role modeled for them and modeled it and showed them how to do it.
Yeah, you can show them like kind of how your Twitter is like professional, how you have good things on there, how you're setting good examples out there.
Yeah.
Kind of showing them what you've done to help lead them in the right direction.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
And there's so many other things that you can use technology for. Obviously, technology sometimes fails, which is unfortunate, but there's still so many benefits that come from it. You can have students work on stuff in the classroom on computers. You can use cell phones for educational purposes, such as Kahoot, such as even Google Classroom.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest things is that students are born into this technological world, and I hate that I have to take them away.
It's not necessarily that you have to take them away. You just have to teach them how to use it properly while in the classroom. You can't do anything about it when they're outside the classroom, so you can't follow them around, obviously. But while they're in the classroom, you have a little bit more control of the usage.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to learn.
Okay, yeah.
From last one, or doing last post.
Sorry.
We can mark this part out because I don't remember what else we're supposed to talk about.
I think that was it.
Was it?
I have to wait for my game to load first.
That's 8.
Okay. Ready. That was good. Okay, what am I? Okay. I'm on my phone too. You ready? You actually ready? Stop laughing. Okay. Sydney.
I don't know, I just keep thinking of the way you looked when you're looking at me. Okay.
This game.
I started the water.
That was so funny. Okay. No, look at me again.
Sorry.
So that we can crop it so it works perfectly.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where my hand was at that point.
Okay, I can't look at you when I... Are we stopping?
Yeah, we're
I
sorry.
have nothing else to say. Okay.